You've tried every foundation trick for crepey skin: lighter coverage, dewy finish, primer underneath, setting spray on top. By noon, it still clings to every crease and looks 10 times worse. But the problem was never your application. The foundations themselves are built for smooth skin. They assume a surface that doesn't exist on your face anymore. We tested all 7 against the only 3 things that actually matter for crepey skin. 2 passed, 5 made it worse, including 2 you probably own. Let's start with the one that made me angriest. Number 1, Estee Lauder Double Wear, 0 out of 10. If you have crepey skin and you're still using this, I need you to go wash your face right now. I'm serious. Put the phone down, walk to the sink, and take it off. This is the single worst thing you can put on crepey skin, and I've been saying this for years. I put this on first thing in the morning, blending it along my jawline with a damp sponge in front of my bathroom mirror. Within 1 hour, my skin looked like crumpled tissue paper, not slightly worse, dramatically worse. Every bit of crepey texture on my neck, my cheeks, and under my eyes was suddenly amplified. It sits on top of the skin like a heavy sheet and grabs onto every single dry, textured spot it can find. It doesn't blend into crepey skin, it announces it. I prepped an actress for a press tour last week, and she pulled this exact foundation out of her bag. I told her the same thing I'm telling you right now: throw it away. Every woman with crepey skin owns this, and every single one of you needs to get rid of it today. Number 2, IT Cosmetics CC Cream, 2 out of 10. 2 in a row, and this one makes me furious because of who they're marketing it to. They put this in front of women with aging skin, women with crepey skin, women who are looking for something that will finally work. The packaging practically promises you smoother, younger-looking skin. And then you put it on, and it does the exact opposite. This formula is so thick and so heavy that when you lean into a magnifying mirror under bright bathroom lighting, you can see it clinging to every crepey spot, like somebody put your texture under a magnifying glass. I had a client sit in my makeup chair last Tuesday, and she started crying. She thought her skin had gotten worse overnight. She was panicking. I looked at her face, and I knew immediately it was this foundation doing the damage. I took it off, put something else on, and the crepiness calmed down in minutes. That told me everything I needed to know. When a product makes a woman cry because she thinks her own face betrayed her, and it turns out the product did it, that's unforgivable to me. 2 out of 10, and it only gets those 2 points because the shade range is decent. The formula itself has no business being anywhere near crepey skin. Now, I know that's 2 horrible ones in a row, and you're probably sitting there wondering if anything actually works. I was wondering the same thing at this point in my testing, but this next one changed my whole mood. Number 3, Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation, 8 out of 10. Finally. I smoothed this across my cheek with a flat brush, and the finish looked soft and natural even in warm lighting. This one actually works with crepey skin instead of fighting it. The finish is soft and blurring without being heavy. It doesn't sit on top of your skin, and it doesn't cling to the texture. It kind of melts in and smooths things out in a way that feels almost gentle. My under eyes looked softer, my cheeks looked smoother, and the crepey patches on my neck, which is where I always notice it the worst, actually looked less noticeable by the end of the day. Not more. That almost never happens. I put a foundation on in the morning, and by 5 in the afternoon, the crepey skin usually looks rougher than it did before I started. This one held up. Go light with the application. Use a damp sponge and let it do its thing. Don't layer it. Crepey skin doesn't want layers. It wants something that'll sit quietly and smooth things out without drawing attention. Charlotte Tilbury did that. The only reason this doesn't get a 10 is the price. It's not cheap. And if you go too heavy with it, even this one will start to settle slightly by hour 8. But compared to everything else on this list, those are minor complaints. This is one of only 2 that passed my test, so remember it. But the next 2 are going to make you mad again. Number 4, Tarte Amazonian Clay Foundation, 3 out of 10. 3 bad ones out of 4 so far, and at this point I was starting to lose my patience. I get why women with crepey skin reach for this one. Amazonian clay sounds natural. It sounds like it should be good for your skin. I had a client last month who specifically bought this because she thought the clay would help her texture. I had to explain that clay is doing the opposite of what she needs. It's pulling moisture out, not putting it in. This dries down so fast and so matte that you can practically watch the crepey texture appear as it sets, like crinkled paper forming right on your face. Under the eyes especially, this is a nightmare. It doesn't just sit in the crepiness, it highlights it. The matte finish sucks every last drop of moisture out of your skin and leaves the crepey areas looking 10 years older than they did when you woke up. If you have crepey skin and you're using anything with the word matte on the label, that's your first problem right there. Matte and crepey don't go together. They never have. They never will. I've been doing this for 30 years, and I'll say that until I retire. Number 5, Bare Minerals Original Powder Foundation, 1 out of 10. I almost didn't include this because I feel like I shouldn't have to say it. Powder on crepey skin. That's like putting sandpaper on silk and wondering why it looks worse. You can see it happening in real time. The loose powder settling into every fine line and crease as you dust it across your face with a fluffy brush. It clings to every single bit of crepey texture, dries everything out even more, and makes your skin look like it's aged 10 years in 10 minutes. That was one of the most dramatic before and after differences I've ever seen, and not in a good way. If you have crepey skin and there's a powder foundation anywhere in your bathroom, please walk over there right now and remove it from your life. It doesn't matter how long you've had it or who recommended it, and I know exactly who recommended it. A friend, a sales associate at the beauty counter, or some influencer with perfectly smooth skin who has never dealt with crepiness a day in her life. Powder on crepey skin is making things worse every single day you use it. Now, after 5 foundations and only 1 pass so far, I was genuinely starting to wonder if I'd find anything else worth recommending, and then I tested number 6. Number 6, Luxe Cosmetics Foundation, 11 out of 10. I don't give scores above 10. I've never done that in my entire career. But this foundation did something I've never seen any other foundation do on crepey skin. It didn't just avoid making it worse, it actually made it look better. Standing in natural window light, my skin looked smooth and hydrated, almost luminous. This melts into crepey skin like a hydrating serum. It doesn't sit on top, it doesn't cling to texture, it absorbs and smooths out every bit of crepiness without grabbing onto it. And by the end of the day, the crepey areas on my neck and under my eyes looked softer and less visible than when I started. That's literally never happened to me before with any foundation. It's built completely differently from everything else on this list. It has niacinamide and hyaluronic acid in the formula, which actually plump and hydrate crepey skin while you wear it. So instead of a foundation that covers and then slowly makes everything look worse as it dries, this one treats the crepiness while giving you coverage. Your skin looks better at dinner than it did at breakfast. A bunch of my clients told me it's actually cheaper on Amazon than anywhere else. So I'm going to leave a link in the description below. If you have crepey skin, this is the one. Number 7, Revlon Color Stay, 3.5 out of 10. I'm ending on a bad one on purpose because I want this to stick. This is one of the most popular drugstore foundations in the country, and I think that's part of the problem. Everyone with crepey skin has tried it at some point. And here's what makes it sneaky. When you first put it on, it actually looks good. The coverage is smooth, the finish is even, and for about 60 minutes, you're standing in your bathroom thinking this might finally be the one. That's what makes it dangerous. It earns your trust and then takes it away. After about an hour, maybe 90 minutes if you're lucky, it starts settling into every crepey line and crease. Suddenly, you're checking your compact mirror at a restaurant and your skin looks rough, tired, and older than it did when you left the house. A foundation that works for 60 minutes and then turns on you doesn't work. It tricks you into thinking it works. That's worse. Out of 7 foundations, only 2 passed, Charlotte Tilbury and Luxe. That should scare you into walking to your bathroom counter right now and checking what's sitting there. If it isn't one of those 2, get rid of it. Your crepey skin has been through enough. Stop making it fight a foundation that's working against it every single day. If you're learning something new right now, and this is changing how you think about your foundation, hit subscribe. I go deep on what actually works for mature skin every week. Next week, I'm testing the 5 primers everyone recommends for crepey skin, and 3 of them are about to make you angry all over again.